to another tutorial on MATLAB. In this particular series, we are looking into the MAAB guideline, how to implement MAAB guideline in MATLAB. In this particular chapter, we will see Simulink, which is chapter 6. In the Simulink, we have 4 major sections. The first is diagram appearance, so how the diagrams should look like, how you should organize the blocks and the signals, how you should organize all the signals, so that is coming on the signal for the Simulink, how you should give naming convention for the signals. Next is the block uses, so how you should give naming convention to the block uses or to the block, and how you will be using different Simulink patterns to develop the Simulink models. Following all these, you will be complying with the MAAB guideline. So coming to the first part for the diagram appearance, in this one, this is the font size of the block should be of same type. Whatever the font size that you will be using for the blocks, it should be of same type. Then whatever the output that you will be using for the blocks should be on the right hand side of the model. You cannot put the outputs on the left hand side of the model. You need to put it on the right hand side of the model. Next is the placement of input ports. So here you need to keep all the inputs on the left hand side of the model so that it will look like the flow is coming from the left and entering inside the right side. Next is coming to the signal lines, which is connected to the merge block. So suppose you have a merge block, then whatever the signals that you are connecting to the merge block should not be divided. The signals should not be divided before entering into the merge block. So this will create conflict. There should not be any line crossing when you are dealing with some signals. So if you are drawing lines, then the signal should not cross each other. So that is the main thing. The content of the system should be visible clearly. Whatever you write in the model, like some signal names or some subsystem input, output, so those names should be visible clearly. Next is applicable to the parameter. The example could be initial time, or at initial stage what should be the value of the parameter and what is the sample time for the parameter. So at what value or at what time interval it should get updated. Next is for enable and triggered subsystem. So for enable and triggered subsystem, the block the signal names should be same. So whatever the signal name that you are mentioning here, it should be the same if you have an enable block inside this particular subsystem. Next is the display icon for the input ports or any port. Okay, so the icon should be displayed. The icon display in the port should be the port name. So whatever the icon that you will be displaying for the input or output port should be the port name. So next is coming to the triggered, enabled, and iterator or switch case subsystem. So all these components which indicates that this is a enable subsystem, or this is the triggered subsystem, or this is a switch case subsystem, or this is a iterative subsystem. So all the icons should be placed on the top level of the model. So suppose you have an enable subsystem, then the enable block should be placed at the top level of the model inside the subsystem. Coming to the signal direction change. So if there is a direction change for the signals, it should be at 90-degree angle. So if you are changing the direction, then it should be 90-degree. Next is coming to the signals. So suppose there is a signal which you want to divide it. So you can divide at one place, like suppose here there is one junction. So in this junction you can divide the signal at most 2 times. So you need to divide the signal into 2 segments, but you should not divide it like 3 segments over here, like one more signal coming out. So that is followed by the MAAB guideline. So that will be checked in the advisory check, and all signal should flow from left to right. So whatever the signals that will be present inside the model, it should flow from left to right. There is an exception over here. Suppose you have a feedback control system. So you have a block here and you have a block here. In this case, suppose you do this type of implementation. So the arrow is moving backward. So in this case, it is allowed, which is a feedback control system. In other cases, it is not allowed. So coming to the next one, whenever you are connecting two subsystems, and suppose this is subsystem A and subsystem B, you should always mention the signal name that is connecting between these two subsystems. So that is the rule for diagram appearance. So coming to the diagram appearance, there is one more segment that we have, which is more related to the merge and bus. So coming to the first part over here, the bus signal into the merge block should have the same number of inputs. So the bus block, which is this one, should have the same number of inputs, which is like you are seeing here: engine RPM, brake pedal percentage, acceleration pedal percentage. So here also in the other block, other bus, you are having the same kind of signals. And here you can see the dimension are also the same, whichever the dimensions are present here. So the second point is should have identical signals. As you see, there is identical signals that are present. So here you cannot put some other signals, and like in place of engine RPM, you cannot put ignition on or something like that, and here engine RPM. So it should be of same size and also of same sequence. So like it is mentioned over here, it is in the reverse way, which is mentioned here. So it is not also applicable to the guideline, because here the sequence of the signals are different and here the sequence of the signals are different. So whenever it is coming to the merge block, it will create conflict. So signal sequence should also be same. Signals should have the same dimension. So all the signals should have the same dimension over here. And whichever the bus signal that is coming out, it should not be branched. So if you branch it, then it will not work with the merge block. So the main objective over here is, suppose the bus 1 signals are not active, then the bus 2 will work. If the bus 2 is not active, then the bus 1 will work. So that is how merge block works. And if both the signal criteria are not the same, it will create conflict. So this is about the diagram appearance. In case you are liking the channel, please consider subscribing. In case you have any comment or query, please let us know in the comment section. It will be a lot helpful to us to improve the channel content. Have a great day ahead and happy learning MATLAB. Thank you.